Yu-Gi-Oh!
Alright, what's up guys? I've got a video here on Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. I've been playing it for a couple weeks now, and it's really scratching that itch I've had for just a more relaxing paced game. I did play Hearthstone quite a bit when it came out, but the meta in that game, I don't know if it's changed. I've gone back to it a couple times, but it's just so much rush down, face damage. You can't really get big monsters out. Even if you do, they last half a turn before they get hit by removal. Or your enemy can just throw all their 2 mana, 3 mana monsters at them and take them down anyway, so it just wasn't fun for me as someone that wants to get big monsters and cool cards instead of attacking somebody with a bunch of Murlocs. So coming over to try out this Yu-Gi-Oh game, I've never played the card game as a kid or had any knowledge of its mechanics. All I knew about it was that it existed. So there's a little bit of a learning curve to it, and the mechanics are very different from a game like Hearthstone. There's a lot more depth to it, which I enjoy. And one of the things that I really like about it is when you get your big monsters out, your opponent can't just ignore them. They can't go face damage, they can't kill your big monster with a bunch of little monsters. If you've got a big monster, the little monsters will just die if they attack it, and they won't even hurt your monster. So the way it works is your monster's attack stat and defense stat, depending on if it's an attack or defense position, is the numerical value that will impact the damage or the battle phase. So if a 4,000 monster, 4,000 attack monster is attacked by 5 3,000 attack monsters, it will kill every single one of them every single time, unless there's some sort of special effect that those monsters have or something like that. You can also initiate these chain sequences between some of your spell cards and trap cards, which is interesting, and it allows you to respond on your opponent's turn. So you can try and throw a wrench in their play or block what they're trying to do. If you have like a negate or something that cancels out their effects, sometimes your effects will allow you to special summon a monster on your opponent's turn, or really there's a ton of different possibilities in what you can do with some of these cards. There aren't classes or anything, so it's more like theme-based decks, but you can still put any card in any deck that you want. It just might not work very well, and it might not make a lot of sense. So the game's also very generous in terms of being a free-to-play game. I've not spent a dime yet on this game, and kind of looking at the prices, it almost feels like it's so easy to get the in-game currency to buy packs that the prices for buying them, it actually seems a little overpriced with how easy it is to just unlock stuff in-game, at least as a newer player. Perhaps when you've completed all the lifetime gem rewards, it might slow down, but there's a lot of them, and there's daily rewards. You can basically get several packs a day just by doing the daily rewards. And if you save up to open 10 packs at a time, it will allow you to get a guaranteed super rare or above in the opening. So if you save up and do it that way, you can start to accumulate some good rare cards. The crafting system in it is also pretty fair. So you take 3 cards, basically 3 cards, disenchanting them, or whatever it's called in this game, will let you craft 1 card of that same rarity. So it's broken down by rarity tier. And the game has been out now for, I think, I want to say since about February of this year, so February 22. And it's got close to 10,000 different cards in it, so there's a lot of different decks and different options. There's a pretty long and extensive solo play missions that you can do, and I'd recommend, if you're not familiar with the game, going through them. You'll get a lot of rewards from it, and it'll also teach you some of the basic mechanics. And then from that, maybe you can look at a lot of deck lists in game as well as just decks online. The deck making system is very well done as well. You can add, even if you don't have the card, you can add it to your deck, so then you can have the deck list you want and go through and craft those cards that you need to complete your deck. So from what I've seen, what I've heard, I haven't really done much crafting. I've just been opening packs. And the way that works is that you get, there's these things called secret packs, which will basically give you half of that pack, and it's 8 cards per pack. So half of that pack will be specifically from a smaller list of cards that are more themed for certain types of decks. So I was getting the, I forget what it's called, but basically the Dark Magician secret pack was what I spent my first 10,000 gems or so that I had accumulated through the solo missions. So I opened a bunch of those and I built this deck. I may have crafted 1 or 2 cards. I don't even have the number of cards that I would need if I wanted to, really make a quote-unquote competitive deck. But I'm just kind of saving my crafting material for the time being until such a time where I feel like I really want to use it or need to use it. And I've been having just a lot of fun in the game playing the ranked duel mode. I've got up to gold like 4 in about a week or so, and just been having a lot of fun in the game and seeing other people's decks and just the different possibilities. I've heard as you get towards the higher levels in ranked play, you start to run into just a lot of meta decks that, the same few that are just top tier that everybody's running. But I mean, that's kind of expected in a game like something like this, or just really any game, is that there's going to be those couple outliers that just edge out some of the other decks. It doesn't mean you can't win, it just means they're going to have a bit of a higher win rate. But I'll be interested to see what happens when I get to that level. So I would highly recommend this game. It's got cross-play on every console, PC, and phone or mobile. I'm not really into mobile gaming, but this is one of those games where it basically has the exact same gameplay on mobile. So it's not as easy to do some of the functions like creating a deck, so I'll usually save that for when I'm on my PC. But just as far as if I'm on like a lunch break at work, I can eat my food and play a couple, duels and get my daily missions done, and just have a little bit of a break from the day, doing something that's a little more enjoyable than just reading a news article while I eat a sandwich or something. But definitely would highly recommend checking out this game if you're a fan of these types of card games. It's, in my opinion, way better than Hearthstone. Hearthstone just it's just kind of like face roll. You just smash monsters against other monsters, and all the cool big monsters just get instantly removed. because there's so much removal in the game, or the cool monsters, big monsters with effects, or just the cool monsters with effects just get silenced, or something like that in the game. So it was frustrating to play, because for someone like me who likes to find things that synergize well and like combo, you couldn't really do that in Hearthstone, because there's just so much removal, so much silencing, or just, you know, even when that doesn't work, they can just nuke your monster and then smash their little monsters against it, or just even completely ignore your monsters and just nuke your face and smash their little monsters against your face, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. The other mechanic in here, I think I forgot to mention, is that when you have a monster on the field, with very few exceptions, your opponent cannot directly attack you. They have to clear all your monsters before they can attack you. However, if the monsters are in attack position and your opponent attacks it, and the difference in the damage of those two monsters will be applied to your life pool. If the monster's in defense position, then you don't take any damage to your life points. So that's kind of where the mechanics come into play there, in terms of just preventing people from going directly to face. And then there's a lot of other cool things like fusion summoning, link summoning, XYZ summoning, and synchro summoning. So you have like a main deck and an extra deck. The extra deck has most of your bigger monsters in it that you kind of special summon by either combining your other monsters or meeting certain conditions to get them out onto the field. So all in all, I'm really enjoying this game. I'm playing it a lot. It's great in terms of free to play. Even better, I would say, than Hearthstone in terms of how generous it is with the currency. Hearthstone, if you've played it, it takes a long time to get the cards that you want, because you can only get a few packs here and there. So check this game out, guys. Let me know what you think. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that subscribe button. Helps me out. And remember to give them the D.